Alright, so I'm making a chicken noodle soup. I'm using all leftovers. All leftovers. This is a leftover chicken leg from the day before, and this baked chicken, smoked baked chicken I made from scratch. Of course, the chicken I didn't make from scratch. So I'm basically gonna cut the meat off of this chicken leg. That's what I'm doing. In the pot I have boiling, I have some leftover noodles, broccoli cheese noodles from my lunch that I had earlier during the week. I have some string beans I have left over from when I made this baked chicken the other day. So today is Thursday, and I thought, let me try to get rid of some of these leftovers so that when I get ready to go grocery shopping. So I'm just kind of cutting some of the fried onions off that I baked this chicken in. And so I'm going to keep the skin on the chicken, but I'm going to cut it down really low to really thin pieces so they can cook all the way through. So I'm going to give you a look into I'm calling this soup for the struggle, honey. Leftover anything soup. You can make soup out of anything. Pork chops, chicken, steak, fish. You decide, whatever you have a taste for. But I feel like I don't like to waste. And then I'm on a budget because I only work part-time, but I'm in school full-time. So I try to, make the best of my finances. And at the same time, save money while preparing leftovers and just switching them up a little bit. Okay. So I pretty much got this meat off of this chicken bone with a knife. But what I'm going to show you, I put a chopped onion in this pot. In that pot right there boiling, there is 2 cups of chicken broth, 1 cup of leftover string beans, a 1/4 cup chopped onion, fresh onion, and also some leftover chicken and broccoli noodles. And of course, a smoked baked chicken leg, which I'm putting in here now. And it smells amazing. I don't even need a lot of seasoning because all of the seasoning let me show you. All of the seasoning amazing. All of the seasoning that I had from when I pre-cooked all of this stuff. So I'm actually going to have like a chicken noodle soup in here in a minute. And I may add just a dash of some salt and pepper because I like my food really seasoning. So I don't have to add a specific broth for coloring or bouillon cubes or anything like that because the chicken broth is already flavorful. So this looks great. And so with this, I'm going to have a grilled cheese sandwich. And so it's almost 11 o'clock. So I'm going to be having my lunch right now, 11:30, 12. So this is leftover soup. Anything you have left over, you can make a soup out of it. And I learned that from my mother. Normally you want to put some corn in here and maybe some more vegetables. But I had leftover cabbage, but I chose not to add the cabbage. I think the cabbage was a little bit too left over. So this looks great. Let me just give you guys another peek real quick. Again, this is leftover soup. Whatever you have in your house that's left over. And if you're like me, you kind of frugal, you don't want to waste. You make the best out of whatever you have left over. I'm sorry, the camera is just doing whatever it want to do, whenever it want to do it. But this smells amazing. I'm going to add just a dash of this and a dash of that here. The onion's going to give it flavor. The seasoning from the green beans is going to give it flavor. The seasoning from the chicken, the skin that's on this chicken is going to give it flavor. And the cheese and sauce from the pasta is going to also give it flavor. So I'm going to turn this down and let this simmer just a tad bit. Let me see if I can get a little... Oh, don't need no salt and pepper. Don't need anything. Actually, this is done. I'm just getting it all, because it was all refrigerated in a whole bunch of Tupperwares. And I'm just going to let this just simmer a tad bit. And actually I'm going to move it from this burner so that I can get ready to make my grilled cheese. So I'm going to take a break from this again. In this soup is leftover broccoli cheddar noodles, leftover smoked grilled baked chicken, a quarter cup of onion chopped, 1 cup of string beans, and 2 cups of chicken broth. And there I have a delicious hot soup that does not require any flavoring or seasoning. But let me get this wiped off real quick so I can prepare for my grilled cheese. Did you know you can go to libertymutual.com to customize your car insurance so you can pay for what you need? Really? Alright, awesome sauce. I'm back. So I'm going to be using, again, a 25-cent pack of wheat bread that I had left over from about a week or so ago. Normally I use white bread, but can't afford that right now. I guess I could afford it. I guess I'm just not going out. It's pouring down raining here. And I also eat the ends of my bread. I like to toast the ends of my bread. And when I toast the ends of my bread, I butter them down real good. And I put them to the side for to drink with my coffee, which I have very little left, but I have coffee here. Okay, so I went to the deli, and I have had this cheese for a couple of days now. Went to Safeway while I was down in D.C. visiting my family and going to work down there. And so I'm going to actually butter my bread before, you know, normally we put the bread, put the butter in the frying pan and let that toast a little bit, but no, I'm not going to do that this time because my soup is calling my name. Oh, it smells amazing. And I am so excited about that. Again, I'm just making leftovers soup. Whatever you call it, soup. Alright, so I got my first slice of bread into the skillet. And the skillet is already hot. Simmering on low. And I'm going to use my leftover cheese that I had from when I bought I bought this cheese from Safeway when I was in D.C. visiting with my daughter, and I went to work there. And so this was left over. I had bought lunch meat. I'm going to use 2 different kinds of cheese because, like, again, it's left over and I'm trying to get rid of it. So I'm going to put this in the pan on top of the other slice of cheese, and there's my deli wrapping. And this makes room in my refrigerator. And so, again, that's trash. And so I bought this a few days back, like I said. And so that I don't waste, I'm making a grilled cheese sandwich out of leftover cheese from my sub. And there is my soup, looking so beautiful and chunky and hearty. And here's my grilled cheese, which is going to be amazing as well. So I'm looking forward to tasting the goods. In the meantime, I'm going to clean up my little mess here. My refrigerator is right behind me, so all I get to do is turn around and put stuff in the refrigerator, right? And put this in the garbage. I really could have stuck this in the soup and let this finish boiling off of it. Matter of fact, I think I will. And let that finish. I'm telling you, when you're in the struggle and we're in the middle of this pandemic, and you just don't never know what's going to go down. You just never know. So you have to be able to manage such as you have. This soup looks amazing. There's the bone. I'm trying to get that in the broth. And this soup looks amazing. So you just never know, when you might be stuck in the house and can't get out, and then you're stuck with all these leftovers, and you're like, wait a minute. I don't have anything to eat. Let's turn over the grilled cheese while we're talking. Look at that. Now, I am not your grilled cheese connoisseur. I just am not. But I know enough that the cheese needs to be melted. And I feel like a little bit more butter needs to be in the pan at this point because my cheese is sticking to the pan. Now that right there is a whole, that's a whole nother song and dance there. So you may not have a lot, and I don't get on here and try to pretend like I have a lot. I use what I have. The time that we're living in right now, God has blessed us to have the little that we do have, but we're supposed to be good stewards over the things that, look at this cheese melting so good. That's that deli cheese right there. You see that? It's sticking to the frying pan. And so God has blessed us to be able to have the little that we have. We should be good stewards over it and not waste. And so I'm not going to waste. I'm going to recycle my food. I guess that's what you can call it. Look at this baby right here. I love cheese that can melt so good. There's my soup with the bone. There's this. And I'm telling you, this is not some concoction that I came up with. This leftover soup and a grilled cheese. I'm going to turn this heat off this grilled cheese. I'm going to get me a bowl. And I'm going to have me a small plate for my sandwich. I'm going to rinse off this ladle.
There's no way that they can live in here. No way on earth. Oh my God. Look at this.
I'm going to ladle my soup, which of course we know is already done. Look at this hearty soup. It's hearty. Look at the soup here. It's hearty.
I can't let my mom live here like this.
So we got, look, still got a little bit left, which I will finish that up. Actually, this is enough for one whole dish, one whole serving.
I don't know who she's trying to impress, so she just keep going. After a while, it gets pretty bad.
So here I got my meat, vegetable, and a starch. How about that? All in one bowl. Okay. So put that in the sink. Oh, this looks amazing. It's so hearty that you can eat it with a fork. How about that? I better get my grilled cheese out of here.
I cannot leave my mom here. I know we've been
There it
through
is.
this several times, but it's too dangerous for her, and I will have to find health care for her. She won't like it. She'll take it forever, but it is beyond living conditions. It's nobody should live like that. No one.
Okay, so that's the conclusion of a meal for the struggle. Leftover soup and grilled cheese. An amazing combination to save money.